Solo traveling as a woman, some people think it's crazy. Some people think it's the best thing ever. And honestly, it's a little bit of both. I've done 3 solo trips: Jamaica, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. And let's say I've learned a lot, from gaining confidence to getting finessed over some monkey photos. Yeah, let's talk about it. My first taste of solo travel was when I went to Jamaica in 2022. I was attending my great-grandmother's funeral, so technically I was with family, but I did have my own Airbnb and I was moving around independently without them. We all boarded the plane together, but they went and stayed at my grandmother's house while I got my own space. It wasn't a full solo experience, but because I was on my own, it kind of was a solo experience. But honestly, it gave me a lot of confidence with pursuing a full solo trip. Fast forward to my birthday in 2023. So you guys know how it is. You'll have a group chat.
Oh, do you guys want to go to so-and-so? Yeah, let's go.
And then as time goes by, people start hitting you up with,
oh, you know, I can't make it, yada, 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 yada.
And I just feel like time waits on nobody, so why should I be waiting on anybody? My birthday was approaching. I didn't have anyone to go on a trip with, so I decided I was gonna go to Mexico for my first time ever solo. And let me tell you, some people had some things to say. They weren't being bad mind, they were just being cautious and nervous, and they just didn't want anything to happen to me. But for me, I was just like, I walk with God, so I'm good. I have street sense, you know what I mean? I have little sense, so I'm not gonna put myself in certain positions for me to be preyed upon. Obviously, there's only so much control you have over situations, but for me, I was just like, I got this. I can move independently. And I've been on trips with people where it's just like, bro, like I wish I was here by myself. You know what I mean? So for me, I was like, you know what? Let me do this. Nobody wants to go on a trip with me. I'm gonna do it. There was a whole lot of, are you sure that's safe? Are you sure you don't want someone to go with you? Listen to me. Time waits on no one. If I was to continue to wait for people, I would still be waiting. I'm not doing that. I stayed at the Grand Bahia SHAN, which was a huge resort. There were 4 different properties on the one resort. SHAN specifically, in my opinion, it reminded me of a retirement home. There was a lot of older people, older crowd, very quiet, very calm. The food was okay. For me, the best part was the excursion. So I went to a cenote, which is an underground cave, fresh water. Really fun. I also went ATVing. I also went to a monkey sanctuary, which was a lot of fun. I had a monkey on my head. I got to pet a zebra. But I won't lie, there were times where I was a little bit sad because it hit me like, I'm here alone on my birthday. You know, that was my choice, but it was just kind of sad. It was also a good feeling because it was liberating. I'm here alone. Some people can't do that. They need people to do everything with them. So for me, it was just like, okay, I got this, I got through it, and I could do this again. So at my resort, there wasn't a disco, but there was something called a hacienda, which was kind of similar. There was a live band that would play, and you know, everyone from the 4 resorts would get together. I went there once, and because there's 4 different properties on the resort, you had to take this little golf cart thing to the hacienda. When I was leaving, there was a man that was driving the golf cart. When I got on the golf cart, I sat at the back. He's like, oh, why don't you come to the front? Oh, look, man, you know. So I was like, okay, you know what, let me go sit in the front. It was my actual birthday. And I'm on the golf cart with the man, and then he started to be a little bit too friendly with me. You know what I mean?
How do you say happy birthday in Spanish?
Spanish. Muchas felicidades.
Oh, muchas felicidades.
Exacto. Oh.
Hilario.
¿Y tú?
SHAN.
SHAN. Amigos.
Hey, you're my Chargy.
Georgie.
Chargy. And I'm your amigo.
Mi amiga.
Say Chargy. Say it. Chargy. I'm your amigo.
Mi amigo.
All right.
Hilario. Amigo. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Yeah.
All right.
So ever since then, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna take any chances. I'm just going to stay in my room at night. Leading up into my room, there was a lot of forestry, a lot of trees and plants and stuff. And I didn't really like how that made me feel. I'm gonna insert a video so you guys can see the layout of, you know, how it was to enter my room or my space. So again, I didn't want to take any chances. So I just stayed in my resort at the end of the night. And honestly, there wasn't too much going on anyways for me to really be out there. And there was really bad lighting throughout that resort. Then later that year, I went to the Dominican Republic, and let's say it wasn't giving. Now, Dominican Republic was beautiful, but the resort that I stayed at the Serenade, which was built maybe a year prior to me staying there. So it was a new resort. Aesthetically, it looked really nice. That's part of the reason what made me stay there. But when I got there, it was filthy. I'm gonna insert photos for you guys. It just wasn't clean. You know, when I wiped down the phone, when I wiped down the remote, you saw all this dirt and all this gunk on it. The bathrooms weren't clean. It was a turn off for me. Also the food, I didn't enjoy the food while I was there. Even the drinks that they would provide, I wasn't a fan. When I say drinks, I mean non-alcoholic. I'm not talking about with anything with a spritz in it. Non-alcoholic drinks, I wasn't a fan of. To be honest with you, like the majority of the trip, I ate cucumber slices for dinner. I lost weight on that trip. The one night, my last night, I was able to make like a pasta, and that was the best thing I had the entire time I was there. I did not like the food over there. And to top it off, I got finessed. Yes, I got finessed. So while you're at the beach, there are these guys who approach you and say, oh, mamacita, you want to take a picture with a monkey? You want to take a picture with a monkey? Paid too much money.
Too much money?
Yeah.
How much?
No, I can't remember. Too much. Ay, caramba.
Give me 20 for me.
No, I'm not taking any more. Vámonos. So I fell into the trap because you know what? In Mexico, I took some photos with the monkey and I loved how the photos came out. So I was like, yeah. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm gonna go and the man's gonna take the photos with a professional camera and, you know, a full experience. The monkey's gonna be on my head, on my shoulder, you know what I mean? So he's like, all right, come. So I went and the monkey was there, cute little monkey. I would want a pet monkey for about 2 hours and then I would want to return it back to its owner. I wouldn't want to deal with it long term. But it was a nice little monkey and I'm there wondering where's the camera. The man asked me to pass him my phone. So imagine, you are charging me to use my own phone and to take photos of a monkey on my head top. What kind of finesse thing is that? At this time, I already paid him, so it was like nothing I could do, make the most out of it. But I was turned off. And then on top of that, when I looked at the photos, the saturation was through the roof, okay? And then on top of that, the monkey wasn't even looking in the camera. So when I went to the beach the following day or the few days after, I saw him and I said, yo, listen, I wasn't happy with the photos you took. And he's like, come. So he redid the photos. Those photos came out nicer, but I got finessed again. Well, semi-finesse. So while he was taking the photos, there were 2 other gentlemen who were by him. And pretty much when the monkey was removed from my shoulder, one of the next guys handed me this toucan sand looking type of thing. So anyway, he gave me the parrot and I'm holding a little stinking dirty parrot. And next thing you know, I feel something in my scalp. But I'm thinking maybe it's the monkey. You know what I mean? I didn't want the monkey on top of my head, but I'm thinking it's the monkey. Tutus, I find out this man put an iguana on my head. I was like, what the frick? I didn't sign up for this. So here's the kicker. So after the guy's telling me, oh, it's $40. I said, $40 for what? He said you held the parrot and you had the iguana. I said I never consented to that. I never asked for that. I didn't say I wanted no dirty parrot on my shoulder or in my hand and a dirty iguana on my forehead and my scalp. Were you crazy? So they went away. But I'm just letting you guys know, be aware of that, because you can be finessed for those type of things. And then mind you, you're using my camera to take the photos. It's not even like you guys are printing it. That's foolishness. But I did get to go in the community a little bit, which was fun. Like, Dominican was a great time. I think I just need to stay at a better resort, and I would go with somebody as well. But yeah, the food just wasn't hitting. But I think it's just the resort that you stay at as well. Now, before you go ahead and book that solo trip, I do want to share some tips with you guys to keep in mind. So number one, always do research on your accommodations. Don't just go off of aesthetics. Make sure you guys read real reviews. I do want to tell you guys something that I read online as well. Sometimes people at the resorts ask the guests to make reviews on the resort. So sometimes it's not a genuine review. There's usually some type of compensation, or they're kind of hassling and asking you to do it. So sometimes it's not a real review. But aesthetics are not everything. They are very important, but make sure that place is clean. Because what's the sense you see a place online that looks nice and then you're there and it's nasty? You know what I mean? There's no water, and you know what I mean? Who wants to be in that type of predicament? Number two, always keep someone back home updated on your whereabouts. You might be like, oh, I'll be fine. Just keep them up to date. You never know. Share your location if you have your man, you have your friends, you have your mom, whomever, just so they have some peace of mind and just so you have another set of eyes on you. Number three, always be aware of your surroundings, especially around ATMs and transportation. You never know who's watching you. This is not your territory, especially when you're by yourself. Just always be cognizant. My recommendation is to withdraw cash in your home country before flying out, just so you don't have to be in those type of situations. Number four, don't share too much information with strangers. You know, they don't need to know that you're alone. Yeah, my boyfriend's in the room, he's hungover. Oh yeah, I'm here with my mom, she's over there. She's at the bar. They don't need to know. When they know you're alone, it's just easier for them to prey on you, especially if you don't have no street sense. So take it from me. So here are some things that I would recommend that you guys bring if you guys are going on a solo trip. So some safety essentials. A door stop alarm, which is great for extra security in an Airbnb or in a resort. A portable lock for your suitcase. I would also make copies of your passport and ID, travel insurance, just in case. If anything was to happen, at least you have a digital copy or a printed copy of your documentation. I would also recommend a small crossbody or a fanny pack. It just makes it easier to carry all of your belongings and nothing getting lost. Extra cash and a backup card. Now I know some people, we live in a digital world now, so people are like, oh, I have my card. But guess what? You never know if that resort's ATM is not working. You don't want to go to a sketchy ATM and get cash and the next thing someone has your information. So cash is king. Always walk with a little bit of cash. Portable charger so your devices never die on you. A universal adapter if you're traveling internationally. You never know what the ports are going to be looking like, so just come prepared. Air tags to track your luggage, to track anything really. You never know what might happen, so if you have your air tags are not even that expensive. Just bring it. It's better safe than sorry. And for my content creators, I would recommend bringing a small tripod or phone stand to take your own photos, take your own videos. Also, extra memory cards. Trust me, you never want to be in a situation where you don't have no more space. It's annoying. Packing smart means you're prepared for anything while also keeping things light and stress-free. So I know you're dying to know, would I go on a solo trip again? Absolutely. It has its challenges, but the freedom and the self-growth that comes with it is very rewarding. And to me, it makes the trip worth it. If you've been thinking about it, do your research, be cautious, and just go. Now I want to hear from you. Would you guys ever go on a solo trip? And if you already have, where have you been? Let's talk in the comments. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.